Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about rumors. Let's talk about facts.
We gon' talk about life. We gon' talk about it. Romance, finances, generational wealth.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Well, let's talk about it then. Hi.
How you
I'm
doing?
doing great. How are you doing?
Great. Welcome everybody. It's Thursday, and I am your host, Marsha E. Dudley.
And I am Etoya Lewis.
And welcome to
Let's talk about it.
All right.
Listen, I don't know. Someone said that maybe we need to think about redoing our song, but every time that come on, I'd be like,
I was thinking too. I love that song.
I love that song.
Yes. So
I really be feeling myself with that song.
me too, girl. Me too. Don't worry. Me too.
I don't know. Well, hello, everybody. Let us know when you get in so we can see who's here and where you're coming in from.
Yes, say hello. Hello.
Let us know that you're here.
Mhm.
Okay, so we have a disclaimer that we're gonna go ahead and put out because, yeah, you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the disclaimer. We have 80-mile-per-hour winds headed our way, and we also have like horrible weather. They said it's tornadoes touching down. I don't know, but I can hear the wind. Like it's really. That's the reason why we're not together right now.
Yes.
Because you and me, us never.
And then I need to be away from
We have
this
to stay
piano.
safe. So if we end our broadcast early, or if the wind knocks us off or something, we love you guys and tune in next week where we go live from New York.
Yes. So we have some really good conversations tonight. We always have good conversations.
Yeah.
We're gonna laugh, we're gonna be serious, we're gonna be all of that. But
And listen, I need to let the people know that our conversations usually come from something that occurred. What are you doing, Marsha? What was that?
because
What was
I
that?
looked and my lipstick looked whole silver, like I got on silver lipstick, but we're gonna just roll with it.
It's all right. You're cute. Your
Mhm.
hair look popping. I mean, you look fresh. Yes, darling. I love it. I love all that. I love it. You did it. You did that. That's my friend.
Uh-uh.
Why am I
Uh-oh.
here looking like doggone my
You look
auntie
cute.
and stuff?
You
It's
look
all
cute.
good. But yes, our conversations usually come from a place of we just got finished talking about it, and we want to bring y'all in on our conversation. That's actually how this whole thing started. Just talking about stuff.
Yeah.
So, what's the latest? What have we been talking about as of late, Marsha E?
So story time. So we had a friend that
Mhm.
went on a
Retreat?
a retreat, and it was
Work.
a business retreat. And she works for a very well-known company. They're very established. And on this retreat, there was another co-worker from a different
State.
state or whatever, but they're part
But
of
the
the same
same company.
company. And on this retreat, the co-worker had a little bit too much to drink, and inside the seminar they were a little bit inappropriate, um saying just a whole bunch of inappropriate things. And the thing is, so I have to
Bring it back up to
yeah.
identify who they were all around. Like everyone was us.
Mhm,
It's she's a part of diversity,
mhm.
and it was all us, our people. So this is the reason why we're bringing this here tonight. Go ahead, Marsha, finish. I'm sorry.
No, because that's exactly, they needed to know
Because
that.
it's important that they know that it was our people.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
were around all our people. But
Yeah.
like,
So it was so it was a black not a black event, but black people were there, and it was a women's event. Wasn't it a women's event? I don't know, but
I
anyway,
don't know.
it was a bunch of black people there, and this co-worker was just very inappropriate. Like I said, saying things like, you know, asking one woman, do you like women and all this type of stuff. Just very inappropriate conversation.
She also brought her boyfriend on the retreat with her.
Yes. And like I said, she got very drunk, and our friend had to take her to her room. It was just really, really bad. So our question is,
Getting pissy drunk.
yeah, she was pissy drunk. So our question is, or what we want to talk about tonight, do we as Black people hold our standards or our etiquette of how other Black people should behave in public? Do we hold ourselves or others to a higher degree than what other people or what other races hold their you know their friends or co-workers or whatever? Only, and I say that because I totally agree that what she was saying and what she did was completely inappropriate. But sometimes, are we a little bit harder on our own race when we come to professional and public settings?
So let me speak, because my only professional is what I do when I do what I do, if I decide to do it. Anything else is military related.
Mhm.
But whether I was in a professional setting or just me hanging out with my girls, I just feel like the behavior itself was inappropriate.
Mhm.
Her getting so drunk that she don't even remember the next day, the next day, the things that happened the night before, is dangerous. Anything could have happened to her. And regardless if it was business or just me out with my friends, it was inappropriate. The way she acted was inappropriate for
Yeah.
any setting.
So we agree that the action was definitely inappropriate. But like, I see people that are saying, I asked the question, do we as a people, as a community, do we raise our bar and our standards higher on one another? And a lot of people are saying yes.
Yes.
And we are, and I completely and totally agree with that. I feel like
But
sometimes,
should we not?
yeah, is there a separation? Is there a separation? um Being professional, let's say that this was not a if this was not a um
Business trip.
business trip, would do you think our friend would look at it differently? I think that she would, because
Mm-mm.
I think that because it was a business and her company was being represented.
Yes. When you go out as you are a brand.
Somebody said we don't get a choice. That was
That was Drea.
Raya.
Hi, Drea.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't have a choice. We have to be better in everything. We have to be better anyway in everything to even get the job. So of course you have to hold yourself, and everyone else has to hold you to a higher standard, especially when you're going to make me look bad, because you may take something from me later because of how you just acted. So
Yeah.
there has to be a higher standard. I believe. Is it fair? Maybe not, but life isn't fair.
But Drea said, but that's the point.
Right.
And yeah, but I think that we also we create this culture. Now, granted, like I say, being in we're gonna, so hands down, I think we all can agree, in a business setting, there is, whether white, black, green, or yellow, there's a way that you should act.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, we as a community, sometimes we are so hard on each other when we're out in the business world or even in public. Like, now, granted, we can have, when I go out, I've seen white people be at bars and get pissy drunk and oh yeah, they first yeah, and we laugh at them. But then if I see Quay over there, or excuse me, another black person over there, and they're drinking and they all doing their thing. I'm like, oh, look at her, just embarrassing. But who are they really embarrassing? Are they embarrassing themselves? But we take on this thing like, oh, you embarrassed me.
Because you are. Drea says we never have another opportunity. It sucks, but we can't be drunk. Our kids can't make mistakes. We can't be loud, and we can't laugh loud. So, yeah, they're right. Even something as simple as being out there dancing, everyone's looking.
Yeah.
There's a stereotype on us regardless. We're animals, we're this, we're that. You've heard all kinds of different things that people say about Black people, and a lot of people hold that as true.
Okay, but the thing is that, okay, put other races to the side.
Mm-hmm.
What about in our community? We do this to each other. So if we do it to each other, why do we get upset when a white person or a Hispanic or Asian person do it? Why is there a difference?
I feel like it's ingrained in us to go ahead and have a problem with it so we can stop it in some way, shape, form, or fashion. We have to cut it off so it doesn't get to them. So they don't say that, because we already know they are going to say it. Whatever they say that we said, they're going to say it if it's all of us, unless everybody is having a good time all together and everybody is drunk. Because when the white guys at the bar are getting drunk, they're all getting drunk together. Mm-hmm. Almost every last one of them. So they're not embarrassed by that, because that's what they came out there to do. But when we're in a group setting and it's everybody, that one loud, way too drunk person is going to make everybody, regardless if everybody else is drunk or not, they're going to make people look at them like, that's how y'all do.
Okay, so
why? I don't know.
Okay, so why? You use the analogy, the white guy over there with all his friends drinking, they're all drunk and they're all loud. Okay, so we have them on the left, but then we have the Black people that are over here, same group. They're inebriated, they're going all loud, but for some reason we will bypass the white people, look right over there at the Black people and be like, ugh, look at them out there acting like a bunch of niggas. And I'm going to use the N word because that's what we're going to say. Out here just embarrassing. That's what we say. That's what we do to each other. I think we are, like I said, we do more hurt and harm in our own community than other races. We're just as bad.
Carlos says, I think we tend to ridicule or judge our race differently. It's sad but true. I think self-hate is a disease, because all Blacks don't think like that. Drea says, we are conditioned that way. Any mistake we make, we have to understand that we have been institutionalized to believe that it's going to be exasperated.
So how do we move past that point? I'm talking about we are, and with everything that everybody is saying is true. But it still does not. Okay, so we've been conditioned that way. How do we uncondition ourselves? Because to be really, really honest with you,
how do we uncondition ourselves for the standard?
Our kids, I
feel like our generations are different as well.
Yeah.
Because this generation of Akils, sometimes they don't feel like they have to dress up even for an interview. Like, we can have on all decked out, dressed to the nines for an interview, when the 21, 22-year-old over there in some sneakers and maybe some khaki pants and a sweater or hoodie or something. And they're like, what? You want me for my knowledge, not for what I'm dressed like. But that's their thought process. That's their
Mhm.
mentality of
Mhm.
going into things.
Dre said that we can't get past it, and that our lives are not out of danger. But I think that we can get past it. We have to do a mind shift.
She
I
said
think,
we are still getting labeled and lynched in 2023.
but we're labeling and lynching ourselves as well. So, and
Okay.
I'm just playing
Okay.
devil's
Okay. So
advocate.
let me play devil's advocate here.
Yes.
Let me jump in. It's my turn. It's my turn. So when Marsha E. Dudley goes to uh oh God, it's not King's
King's
Spa.
Fun.
What is the other one?
Spa Castle.
Spa Castle. And she sees all of these other people of color in there, and she doesn't want to be there because of why, Marsha?
Because it's too many of us there, and they're very ghetto.
Okay. So when people act a
But
certain way
okay,
when you're out, even if it's at a bar, I'm going to that same bar. We're all going to the spa for the same thing, right? To have a good time, relax, enjoy, blah, 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 blah. We all go to the bar for the same thing. But if I go in there to get drunk and you're already over there acting a donkey, I'm going to look at you crazy because, first of all, I'm not there yet. And you're hindering me from getting there. So I'm going to look at you crazy.
okay, but Toya, the white people are over there doing it too. Why didn't you look at the white people?
I did. I looked at everybody, but I judged us harsher.
Why? Why?
Because we know better. When you know better, you do better.
That's some bull crap. That is some bull crap. Like let me tell you something. I love black people. I totally, when I tell you, I like I said, I created this group out of love, but we are our own worst enemy. If we could
And
get
speaking of
past,
being your own worst
right?
enemy, Dre says, when we make the corrections like don't be drunk in public, don't misbehave, or don't do et cetera, we are doing it because we have to try to save each other. David says social conditioning is real.
Okay, David, I want you to expound on that social conditioning. I get it. I get it.
Wow. Carla, oh, wait, hold on. Carlos can pull up some statistics for us. He said, I would say social media plays a very big part as to how we tend to look at or judge ourselves. Blacks only make 17% of this country, but 75% of negative is about blacks. When we all know whites, Hispanics, and Asians do just as much crime, but yet it isn't televised. The media brainwashes 60% of the country on what they show in the news. Drea says we know better is the exact problem that I'm saying that we can't get past it.
We know better.
When you know better, you do better. We know better. And you know you shouldn't be up there. Okay, for example, everyone looks differently at the situation at True Kitchen when the girl was up twerking in the seat, right? You looked at it as a perspective of why would she be in this black establishment shaking her ass and these people good furniture?
Yeah.
Right? I'm looking at it like, why are they playing ass shaking music if they don't want nobody to get up and shake their ass? Everybody, like, it was a whole big thing on the news and all that. Like, it wasn't that serious for it to have been broadcast like that, but it was, and everybody had an opinion about it.
Yeah.
It didn't make it fair. It didn't make it fair, but it happened. As a matter of fact, I do believe it was on the Wendy Williams show too. I know that stripper that fell off of that pole was on the Wendy Williams. She's saying, why is it that we have to know better? Because I said, if you know better, you do better. But that's the reason why I said, like, even with the girl at True Kitchen, she knew better than to do that. But
But apparently she did know better. Today I watched a
okay, first of all, if you in this restaurant and you've been there longer than 5 minutes, you don't see nobody else doing it. You gonna start the you could be the leader
no, I would never.
because you know better.
No,
So you're doing better. I'm just saying certain situations is a know better, do better situation. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, she said it was on Wendy. I thought so. Because I used to love me some Auntie Wendy. I miss her. It wasn't the fact she was shaking her ass in the restaurant. She was shaking her ass on the expensive furniture. Yeah, but stupid time I'm twerking if I want to.
No, please
Yeah,
don't.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, why was she up twerking in these people? Like, you see that it's okay. I don't know if my sister is still here, but remember we went out to Vanetti's for her birthday. Wasn't that Vanetti? Wait,
Yeah.
is that where we went?
Mm-hmm.
And we're in there, and they decided they wanted to get up. Whoa, no, ma'am, that's not what we gonna twerk down here. We're not gonna twerk up in these good black folk establishment like that,
Yeah.
tearing up their chairs. That's not
Yeah.
what we doing. But I mean, sometimes it takes being around people to help you see the lights for you to actually see it. And like, oh, you know what? I shouldn't be twerking in these people's chair. Got my heels on all up in this here good leather. I mean, it's just sometimes when alcohol flow, you just act up.
And some of us is just ignorant. But anyway, but today I was looking at a video. It was Scrappy, and it was this man named Chaotic. I think it's Chaotic. Something otic or hypnotic or something. But apparently he had dreads in his hair, okay? And they were saying, "Hey, I see you cut your hair and you look really nice. Did you cut your hair because like for women, when we cut our hair, we're about to change our life. We're making a change." This I almost caught this man said, "No, I was trying to beat this murder charge, and my lawyer said I need to cut my dreads, and I listened to him, and so I cut my dreads. So then when I cut my dreads, they said I look like a sex symbol." When I tell you, I was so upset, and I was like, "Why won't somebody stop him, bro? No, don't."
Right.
We I am convinced that some of us really don't know any better. Because why in God's name would you get on national TV and tell people that you was trying to beat a murder charge? So you cut your hair so you could beat a murder charge instead of saying yes.
My lawyer told me I need to cut this so I can look like I actually got some sense. I
Yes.
didn't look like, okay, so that brings me to something else. Why are we murderers and criminals when we have dreads? What about dreads make us?
So that's I was going there too. So you're right. You're
I
right.
mean, last weekend I watched the thing that they had on BET about hair.
Yeah.
And like the evolution of hair and all kinds of things. And they were talking about the one kid that was wrestling, and the referee told him he either was going to cut his hair or they were going to end the match. Like, what is it about our hair that makes us look like we're criminals or thugs? Because they did that to the basketball player. Said he was a thug because he had his hair all braided in all kind of different styles.
But if you look at the world, though, it took us coming together with some good sense and saying, no, my hair is an extension of who I am. Things have completely changed since that time. Like even for my company, I work for a huge company. They are very acceptance. They accept braids and all these different type of things. They're looked at as more professional, but it takes us to open and have a voice, but do it in a mature and in a way that's not in a professional, mature way, and not ah da 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 da.
In an
There's a way to,
argumentative way.
yes, there's a way to. I think there's a way to do everything, and I know a lot of people call me I'm an Uncle Tommy or whatever, but I just believe, I just believe
Aunt
that.
Karen.
You know what? Read this comment because I can't do this.
Okay. Carlos says they could play twerking music in Ruth Chris and bet she not gonna twerk in there because she
Exactly.
knows that she would have to be escorted right out of there. So David says social conditioning is the process by which, oh Lord, let me because it anyway. Social conditioning is the process by which people of a certain society are trained to think, believe, feel, want, and react. In social conditioning, in the sociological process of training individuals in a society to respond in a manner generally approved by society or the group subgroups within it.
So
that makes me think about Plato caves.
Or either Pavlov's dogs.
Yes, like they're not going to do it because they're trained.
Yeah, Pavlov's dog. If you when they ring the bell, they
Or
know.
yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just saying Pavlov's dog. When they ring the bell, they know what to eat. So I'm gonna read this little piece that he said again because this is the part that I really want everybody to focus on. Social conditioning is the process by which people of a certain society are trained to think, believe, feel, want, and react in proper social settings. Social condition or my little thing moved. Want and react in. Social conditioning is the sociological process of training individuals in a society to respond in a manner generally approved by society. So
that's just like going through any training to be a police officer, to be a soldier, to be a Marine. You go through social conditioning. It's a way that they want you to behave when you're. I can't say fall in and then everybody looking at me crazy. Like what does that mean?
But I think that we don't take social conditioning well. I okay, think about it like this. Do y'all know how many conversations we have had about women walking into stores with bonnets on, house shoes, and
So are we socially conditioned to think that that's ghetto and hood?
it is ghetto. That ain't even, that is
Because Aunt your mama was constantly working and cleaning and cooking and doing all kinds of things and had stuff on her head. So you feel like if you're not, like, you should be in play your part, so to speak. Like if you're going to school, then go to school. You should have your books and you should have on attire that represents being in school. If you're going to the store, you should have on clothes that represents you're going to the store. Not going to school and going to the store and looking like you're getting ready to go to bed.
I agree.
I'm asking a question.
No, I feel like
okay, Carlos says perception is 9/10 of the law when it comes to blacks. Sad but true. Drea says yes, because we always have to be meek and humble to get what we want. If we aren't, then we're automatically a threat. Drea, so in the position that you're in, do you feel you have to be meek and humble? I feel like there are certain roles that's expected, but there are other roles that it shouldn't be expected. Like you can't be a police officer and be all like, I don't know. She said we're definitely trained. Some of my posts got cut off, but yes. Oh, that's why it didn't flow. Some of it got cut off. Okay. Can we stop using Uncle Tom in a negative manner because he was actually a positive figure in Black history?
Cool.
That's why she Aunt Karen. When we talk about being approved by society, we all know that we mean when we use the word society.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. When we say society, we're not necessarily talking about us. We are trained to think a certain way by not only our relatives, friends, social circles, but also by the system, societal, yeah, norms. Hell, white folks been going in grocery stores for years in pajamas and rain boots, but no one ridicules them or has an issue with them. This happens largely during the socialization process while growing up.
Okay, so
Like
I look at white people that walk in the store with their pajamas on as the
that's
same way.
Kohlberg's theory, David.
Yeah, I look at white people that go in the store with pajamas on the same way I look at a black person. I look at them like they're poor, like they um I look at them the same way. Let's just say it like that. I think that
Well, you getting ready to say poor white trash.
no, 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 what's it saying then?
Friend, friend. Come on, friend.
I wasn't gonna say that. I
Oh,
wasn't gonna say
I
that.
feel like that's what I felt like. You know how we have that connection and kind of know what the next person is getting ready to say, and I felt like that's what you was getting ready to say, and because I didn't know if I could believe it, I said it for you.
Yeah.
Sorry,
But
as you were, as you were. Girl, continue. Y'all,
yeah,
Marsha's gonna be
but
texting.
I look at them as the same way. I just for me, I am harder on black people, okay? And it's only because as we've been saying here that society is harder on us.
Mhm.
And I think that if we are going to go to that next level, we have to shed everything. We have to shed this mind and get a new mindset. We are just as when for me, I don't have any issues with being out in society, working with white people, dealing with white people, whatever. I don't have no issue with it. And many people would think that I would because I have dark skin and I don't have no dark girl issues. I don't have any type of issues. I am
Wait,
confident in
someone
who
has said that
I
to
am.
you? That do you have an issue being a darker
Oh
complexion
yeah,
hanging
people have
around white
asked me
people?
that. Yeah,
Really?
yes, people have
I
asked
don't
me.
know why I'm shocked by it, but I guess okay.
Yeah, I've had all those different conversations. I don't have any of those things. The only thing I know is what I think about Marsha. And I think that that every black person, if we think about ourselves in a different perspective, because I think of this way about me, I feel like white people think that way about me. I've always been the only black girl in the room, and I command that room just like any other room. I am not meek and humble. Today, I got in. Wasn't that I got in? I told my boss that sometimes you make rash decisions. Most black people would never want to tell their boss that you make rash decisions. No, I have a voice. I have I work accounts. I'm a asset to this company. I have a voice. You are my leader. You're not my God. So I think that we have to change the society that we live in as black people, how we deal with other black people, make black people rise up to a different standard. And it's not by looking at them saying, oh, they embarrass me. No, it's correcting them. I don't care if I see you out in the store, I say it in a sweet way. Oh, you are so beautiful, girl. You should have left that bonnet in the car. I do, because in my mind, I don't want to sit there and look at you and say, "Oh, look at you, your ghetto self." No, the world is already telling us that we're ghetto, we black, we stupid. We
Right.
got to do better. We have to be able to reach each other in a
Hurry.
manner that is not degrading. You know, I be on one.
It's
Let's
okay.
go.
It's all right. It's all right. This
I
is your place.
love us.
This is your place to, you know, express your feelings and helping someone else, because what you're saying, it may help someone else come out of their shell of always being quiet when they know that their boss is making a bad decision.
And
your
when you
your
see,
decision affects everybody.
and
So
when
the
you
impact
see
that
a
it's
black
going to have on me, I don't need it. So let me go ahead and help you right now.
Yeah, and instead of looking at a black person like that girl that was in that true kitchen, had that been me sitting near her, we sit there and we look and we just talk. Look at her stupid ghetto stuff. If had that been me in true kitchen, you want to know what I would have said? I would have went over there and said, "Oh, queen, you too beautiful to be up in this chair twerking like this in this nice restaurant. You a queen. You don't behave like that." That's a it's a way to say and do everything. Now, do everybody take it? Oh, some people may get mad, but they better not. They better keep it to themselves. It's cool. You can say whatever you want to, but I'm going to correct you in love. And I think that we have to stop just looking at people and talking about them and open up our mouths and correct it, because they may not know. We got a lot of comments.
Uh, David's talking about the Johari window. It's the framework for understanding conscious, conscious and unconscious biases that can help increase self awareness and our understanding of others. Hmm. That's the Johari window. Learned about biases this week. But yeah, I was talking about he. I know he got it because that's the reason why he came with the Johari window. Um, Carlos says, I think the biggest issue with our community is parents are no longer teaching respect to their kids. Uh-oh, he's talking about me and G. Um, okay, the majority of these issues are a lack of self-discipline. It's sad because these kids and some adults, a lot of adults, it's not just kids. It's sad because these kids and some adults are somewhat operating as if they are live on social media when they're out in public and looking for likes when they are doing half of this dumb stuff. I mean, but they are though. They
Yeah.
are out in the regular streets. They're out in the malls doing stuff just to get likes on social media. You may not see them recording, but somebody is somewhere recording.
I know that people don't like to say that your kids are a reflection of you, because your kids may make decisions and do things that are very different than what they were raised. Um,
I
but
mean, we all know that because our kids do
yeah,
things that we would never approve of, but that's because they're just doing it.
mhm,
That that's what they want to do. They know better. They're just not doing better.
yeah,
You know better
yeah.
than to be jumping off the top of that staircase. You know better than to be sliding down. Like, but they do it because they feel like it's fun. Let me go and do it. My parents not here. I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
But I think there's two sides to this thing. Okay, there are some children that were brought up and they know the right way to go. They just choose not to. Okay,
Right.
they
Everything is a choice.
Mhm. But then you have some people, your grandmama, your granddad, your great grandmama, and your great granddaddy was ignorant. Your grandmama ignorant, and your great granddaddy ignorant. Your mama and daddy ignorant. And I'm not saying ignorant. I'm saying ignorant.
Ignorant.
That's a whole
Oh,
nother.
we
That's
hear you loud and clear,
yeah.
darling. Loud and clear.
And
I don't
then
know why I can't. I need some water or something.
you have no other choice, I feel like, but to be ignorant. There is a 50-50 chance you're gonna be ignorant too. But so I think, like I said, we as black people, if we if we, a lot of times we don't say that you're my responsibility. We're only responsible for our own selves. And I think that that's what our issue is. We're not responsible for each other. We only care about our kids, our circle. If you're not in our circle, I don't care nothing about you. I'm gonna look at you, talk about you, and turn my nose up.
Even in terms of the kids, like there aren't villages anymore.
Yeah, we don't, there's no such thing as a village anymore. But you want to know also because people don't want you to be a village to their children.
Right.
They don't want you to be a village to your children. I'll tell anybody real quick in here. When I had Gianna, I'm a whooper. You can whoop her. Carlos can whoop.
She gonna get threatened a lot here.
I just, a lot of times you can't say anything to people's children, especially look what's going on in our school system. Do you know that we have more teachers who are coming that do not want to be teachers anymore? That they're done with the school because of ignorance.
When they took paddling students out of school, that's when things went haywire.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Because there was a certain level of fear that was in students that kind of made them be like, you know what, I ain't no need for me to get up and show my tail right now because I don't want this whooping. And I know if I get it here, I'm gonna have to still get it when I get home by grandma and my mama and my daddy or whomever that's home. Like everybody's gonna beat me. I don't want them problems.
Yeah, but you can't touch anybody's kids now. Nobody is you. And then people always gonna say, "Oh, it's because they took prayer out of school."
Dre said Toya ain't gonna whip nobody.
You're not. But everybody wants
to talk about it though. I'm gonna talk about it.
People want to say it's because they took prayer out of school. You weren't praying before they went to school. It has nothing to do with praying in school. It's about, like you said, they took paddling out of school. Don't nobody want you to put your hands on their kids. You can whip mine. If mine is not doing what they're supposed to be doing, I
think that they were some teachers were going above and beyond, like they were doing too much, and that's the reason why. But everybody wasn't doing too much. Some people still need a tail whoop. Accountability is definitely an issue, says Carlos. This has become a struggle because society is steadily stripping power away from parents. Yeah, you can call child abuse and call child abuse. Call them. Call CPS, DPS, any other S you want them. All the services. Call them. I've been trying to get rid of you for the past 15 years. Go on and call them. I ain't coming to court. They're going to just keep you.
Yeah, I remember when Janiyah was in school.
Listen, what we're going to do is get off of Toya and her disciplinary habits or lack thereof. That's what y'all going to do. Y'all going to get off of me. I talk a good game.
Yeah, but you ain't going to back it up. Them kids know it too.
Listen, they be scared though because they don't know when I'm going to do it. Because I'm crazy because I can snap at any given moment.
No.
I usually just tear up the house. I don't tear them up.
No, I whoop kids. I believe in it.
I take them to Drea and whoop them. Between Drea and Carlos.
So I'm going to scroll back up here because when I first asked this question, Drea said that we can't. Hold on, let me go back.
We can't what?
Hold on. When
I know that's right, Joel Dudley. Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Yeah. Or we can't get past it. So I asked again, how my suggestion to how we get past this is that we start holding each other accountable. But I think that
some people not up for being held accountable. I remember when Kill was playing football and we were at a game and the kids were like, we knew that they were in high school and they were up there cursing and doing all kinds of stuff, and it was like, hey, really? And Carlos is like, let's not say nothing because kids ain't kids no more. Like, they don't respond the same way. They're not used to someone saying something to them. So you can't just take everybody's kid and try to correct them. Everybody's kid is not up for being corrected.
Listen, and that goes back to that we have this generation of parents who don't want you to say nothing to their kids, and I just feel like when we have these discussions, it's like, how do we fix this? Is there a fix, or am I living in a bubble and this is what it is? I just refuse to believe that
This is what it is.
this is what it is. It can't be that.
Carlos says CPS has destroyed a lot of Black families. They caused more issues in households than they repaired. I said, don't say nothing because I operate differently to disrespectful ass kids.
Yeah.
Because he be wanting to fight. He don't be wanting to whoop. Like, no. He be wanting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tamisha says, we have a generation of parents that don't want to say anything to their kids or to them. Yeah, exactly, because they crazy. No, I don't want to say crazy, but there's a level of disrespect, like almost automatically, when you try to correct them. Like, who the heck you think you are talking to me about this or telling me not to do that? My mama don't even tell me this.
Yeah, I just.
Dre says, are you living in a bubble? Yes, absolutely. We all are. But nowadays, it's almost like you have to live in your bubble, right? Like, I go outside of my bubble, it's a whole bunch of chaos.
Yeah.
So it kind of draws you back into your bubble, because in my bubble, I'm safe. Everything is peaches and cream, flowers and candy, and a little bit of Stella Rosa. Some parents allow their kids to cuss. Erica Tiny says the parents are scared of their kids. Dresses exactly, Tiny. They are scared to death. Yeah.
But why?
Because they feel like they can't discipline them. If you don't start disciplining them from the young age, you can't wait until they're
that part
10 and you've never yelled at them, or every time you've yelled, they've yelled back and you've allowed them to yell back at you. Like, it only gets worse the older they get. Don't do it, David. Don't smack them up.
I just heard that song in my head. But anyway.
What song you heard?
Read what David said.
He said, I'm that guy that will snatch my kids up. I don't give a. Some parents are afraid of what will happen to them if they discipline their children. Exactly. And that goes back to Carlos's message about the CPS coming in, and all they did was do harm. Yeah, you make your parents scared to discipline you, and you feel you can get away with everything. And this is the reason why we have kids out robbing other people and doing different stupid stuff. Carlos said, I wouldn't say scared, more like too busy trying to be their friends.
I don't buy that. I wish Karen was on here. I don't buy that whole CPS thing. And my thing is that I remember being in Walmart, and Janiyah had did something, and I popped her, and this lady was like, like she looked appalled. And she was like, "Oh, honey, I got in her face. I said, are you fixing to take this little black child home and raise her and take care of her?" She's like, "Ah, if you not, but then, ma'am, I suggest you keep walking." And I kept right on going. I don't, I know I live in a bubble because I'm not letting anybody dictate how I raise my children. And I don't even think that right now I have a friend that's going through she her family is going through a whole CPS matter. And the CPS y'all are talking about is not the CPS that she's dealing with, because the CPS she dealing with, they're very lenient. So I don't know what CPS y'all talking about. And there's no way I'm not gonna be scared of some kids. But I do believe we sit here shuck and jive with these kids while they little, and then they turn into big problems. And then we want to be like, don't be doing that. No, Janaya is 22 years old, and I told her, baby, you can catch these hands. You ever disrespect me, you're gonna catch these hands. And that's a promise.
Drea says the other thing is, once you can't control the child, what is the alternative for the parent? They kick them out. Then you have the young people whose frontal lobe of their brain is still undeveloped, running them up.
She's telling the truth.
Yeah, that's the reason why I started laughing. Like, cause I had already read it, but then I was trying to read it again. But yeah, she's telling the truth. You kick them out, now they out here just doing whatever, waiting for that woman with the purse and a kid that she got a hold so they can take the purse and run. Like, waiting for the old person so they can do this. And I don't know. It's all a mess. Okay, Marsha, read that. Carlos just said on that message right on that last one about the CPS.
CPS came into existence during the timeout generation. And Marsha, you're an exception because I've seen a lot of people get picked at stores before they could check out. So yeah, you're in a bubble. I feel like you should stand your ground, and I'm gonna stand my ground. Gianna, I know that's gonna be the baby that Janaya is easy. Yeah. But that Gianna, like when Janaya got in school, I told her when she went to school, she came home, she said, "Mama, they said that there's a number that I can call if I feel like I'm being abused." And this is what I told her. I said, "Baby, if you ever call that number, you'll never live here again. And I'm gonna be okay with that." And you're not gonna take and when they come and take you, I'm gonna let them take you with the clothes you have on your back, and I'm gonna make them give me your shoes. So you're going out of here barefoot. So call that number. If you let them people pump your head up and you call that number, I promise you your life will never be the same. I don't know. I just, like I said, I just function under something way different.
Okay. She said you can call their number if you can stand this punching in your throat.
That part. That part, okay?
Oh, I'm gonna put your dead in your throat. Keep playing. Call if you want to. Call and see if they can hear you, understand what you're saying. Tamisha says authorities. Hold on. I was trying to pick that. Marsha, read that. My throat is dry.
Authorities have shown up to homes, forcing parents to be more understanding of their children's struggle and provide them with a safe space, even though what's happening is affecting the entire household and your livelihood. You even offer counseling, and that's rejected. Yeah.
Well, Black people don't like counseling, so they claim. Well, it has a negative thought behind it. Like, counseling, I don't need counseling. What I need counseling for? I'm good. You think I'm crazy? Counseling insinuates a mental problem. So that's looked at in a negative manner. So they're going to automatically reject any type of counseling.
That's true. That's true. But authorities, and you know what? She's right about this. About them telling people to be more understanding of their child's or children's struggle. I remember my
What
cousin.
struggle? They ain't paying no bill.
Well, let me tell you. I remember, and Carlos can probably attest. I had my cousins were they mama used to beat the crap out of them, but
My mama used to beat the crap out of me too.
but
I ran away plenty of times.
I remember that the police came to her house and told her that she could no longer whoop her kids, and they said it in front of those kids, and
Okay, we'll take them with you.
told her that if she whooped them, and she was gonna they was gonna take her kids and she was gonna go to jail. I remember this. It's like when they said that, when I tell you them kids, they off the chain. Every last one of them in prison. Only maybe one or two is.
But that's the thing. When you don't discipline them and they feel they can get away with everything, they try to. Not just in the home, outside the home too. Well, go on out there. Because they'd left with her that day when they came in my house and told me, oh, well, I've been waiting for y'all to tell me that. Well, go on. I'm going to whoop them right now. So you can go ahead and take them, because no, you're not going to tell me what I'm doing with my kids. Nah, I ain't for the whoop mine, but they got a daddy that don't mind whooping them. David says there's a stigma on to counseling. It is. It's definitely a stigma. And I hate that there is such a negative stigma on it.
But it's because, like I said, it's because we've created that in our community. But
I'm not telling you, ain't telling nobody what's going on in my house. That was the thing. No, if you go to counseling, then you're going to be telling what's happening in my house.
But I think there's even a shift on that. I see more and more people that are seeking counseling now. There are a lot of Black people that are getting away from that.
Yes, because we're trying to normalize talking to somebody about it. Somebody other than anyone that's going to have like a bias. Somebody who's going to automatically have an opinion on what you got going on. So I can't necessarily talk to Marsha about my deepest, darkest thoughts because she's going to judge me.
I'm not laughing at you, okay?
I don't care.
No, I would never laugh at you.
I don't care.
Not
funny.
My husband said, Victor said, if parents don't discipline their children, eventually the law will. Sharita said, some parents go too far. Penny didn't deserve to be burnt by that iron.
Penny didn't deserve any of those whoopings she got. She didn't deserve any of that. Her mama was crazy.
Issues.
Right. She needed help. Penny didn't need help. Penny and JJ was just out having them a good old time.
What is IEPs?
What?
A lot of kids have IEPs and mental health issues, and that's true. But
okay, Officer Brooks, we need to know what an IEP is. They laughing at the Penny.
I'm telling you, Penny didn't deserve that.
I was talking about Damien, get your wife. The fact that y'all don't know what an IEP is tells me that I live in a bubble.
Okay.
Individual education program.
Program.
Oh. Okay. Marsha, that's what an IEP is. Why you didn't know that?
I did not know. I learn something every day, and I love learning. So I'm not going to
people in these acronyms, boy. I tell you. Okay, so, now let me go back to that comment Erica said.
So why I feel like we didn't solve nothing? We just talked about it.
Because that's what we do. We talk about it. We can't solve it. It's just the two of us, and it's bigger than the two of us. It's bigger than Texas. Mm-hmm. So this is a worldwide issue.
Bubble life.
Accountability for twerking at the red light.
When?
I think music plays a big part in uh, music and social media plays a big part in how a lot of people operate.
And the thing is that somebody made the comment earlier that, you know, about social media and about how we people have this stigma about us because of because the news shows us in this negative light. We show our
Carlos said
own
that.
self in a negative light.
Okay, can you read this comment Drea just put on here?
Bubble life. Okay, that's another issue. There's an acronym for absolutely everything. Shake my head. Just for the record, your child can join the army even if they have an IEP. Talk to your recruiter today. 803-394-0937. And she is sponsoring us for this live
this
tonight.
segment this segment is sponsored
Yes.
by the South Carolina National Guard.
Yes.
Brought to you by yours truly, Smart First Class, Andrea Brunson.
Okay, when my kids got older, I tried to help them to understand my view of being an adult versus being grown. Okay, that's good. Oh, it's
Yeah, I
8:09.
remember. I remember when my child was talking about he had to adult today. Yeah, you're being an adult because you're coming back to my house. You got to make grown choices.
Yeah.
Pay these grown bills. You want to be grown.
So let's wrap this up because it's 8:02.
It's
Yeah.
already over an hour. Oh well.
So what was your takeaway for tonight?
My takeaway for tonight is I cannot twerk when I go to True Kitchen.
No, that is
Not on the not on those good black people furniture anyway.
no, that is not going to be your takeaway
That
for
was my
tonight.
takeaway. That was my takeaway. And
Boy,
I did a great job in allowing my husband to discipline our boys the way that he disciplined them.
that's good. That's a good takeaway. If that's what you've seen in this, that's good. My takeaway is that I totally live in a bubble, and
But
life.
we've known that from day one. Like your thought process is bubblicious.
Okay, hold on here. No, Marsha, the media does portray us in a different manner or image. These mass shootings, whites have mental issues, blacks are thugs and savages. Bubblicious. I agree with you. I agree with you totally. I totally agree. But like I said, we do help the situation too. Um,
Even in social media, you don't get all the good, gushy, great, wonderful things that the black people do. You get all the silly, stupid stuff that they do, the things that make you laugh, the things that make you go, now they know better. Like that's what you see mostly. The good videos don't get views. They don't. The algorithm just don't connect. They don't take it nowhere.
well, let me tell you. I looked at TikTok and I realized that you can be a millionaire going like this. Never said one word, and you can be a millionaire. So anyway, we
He did say that the other night on the NAACP awards, didn't he, Chuck?
what?
He said Wade said it's not a parent's job to direct, but to facilitate. He said I call bullshit.
I direct. I'm not facilitating Jack. I direct. So I agree with you. I don't agree with that at all. Kids are dumb and they don't know anything, and
But
you
what you
have
teach them?
to yes, and you have to raise your children and stop letting this world raise your kids. You want to know what we did? We took Gianna's tablet away. Gianna's 3. I kept seeing things that I did not like. So we took that tablet away. And we're talking, we're doing more coloring, we're doing other things than that. I'm not. I gotta save her. She's only 3. I can't let her be these kids that we don't talk about.
Drea told Carlos he was in a bubble too. He said, "I'm not in a bubble. I'm in a box." She said, "Okay, well, it's a square bubble."
Oh my god.
Oh, that's such a Rebecca answer.
So yeah, but my
Okay, we
my
5 minutes
takeaway,
over
yeah.
time.
But just
The
again,
National Guard didn't pay for all this at time, Marsha.
yeah. But yeah, the takeaway is, let's as a community try to,
Do better.
I don't want that, that's not the right word. Take responsibility for someone else other than our own selves. That if you have the opportunity to correct and love, correct the situation instead
In
of just,
love.
yeah, instead of just judging it and then looking at someone in a negative light, because the world is already looking at us as a community in a negative light. So if we look at the world with this, look at our community with the same eyes as the world, well, then we're just like the world. We're no better. So that's my takeaway.
Mm. Travis said he's also seeing things on his daughter's tablet that aren't kid appropriate, even though he has parental controls.
I did too, Travis. I took that tablet, and you go and buy some art stuff from Amazon and
Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree, and you help these babies. I feel like we can't help, we can pray and hope for better for these young adults. We gotta focus on these babies. We gotta teach them and love them. So yeah. And you know what? Next week we may have to talk about a little bit about something like that. Because yeah, Travis, it is very scary.
David said
So
the
anyway,
infiltration is real. Okay, 7 minutes over.
yeah. So y'all, let me tell you, it is always we enjoy talking to y'all. We love when y'all talk back, and y'all, it's so much knowledge. And I'm telling you, y'all rock.
I know our audience is the smartest audience ever.
Yeah.
Wisest, silliest, all those things.
Okay, Tamisha, I gotta read Tamisha's message before we go. Ongoing question I ask myself and others: how do we correct and love if they don't see it that way, the way we do? Um,
Marsha, that's for you because I never said nothing about correcting in love.
Tamisha, you keep trying. The hardest thing is, I tell people all the time, if Dr. Martin Luther King would have, if Dr. Martin Luther King, if Malcolm X, if all of them have, if they had given up because one person, you know, if they felt like, it wasn't worth it, it's worth it. We are worth it. Harriet Tubman saved a lot of slaves, but there was a lot of them that she didn't save because of mindset. But she kept doing it. I'm gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep doing it. We have to take responsibility for us. And that's why the Black
Until you
Wealth
condition the world to think the same way.
yeah. So we got 460 people in this group. We're making a difference, one person at a time. And we are, because
Well,
these shows that we're
before we
doing.
get off here, Drea also said it is the infiltration of our kids' mind that we are unaware of. A lot of us teach our children the right things the right way or whatever, but there are subliminal messages that in some cases we really cannot combat. You have those tablets, but
Yeah.
it's a fight. It's a fight that we can only pray that they don't fall victim to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so next week we're coming live. Are we gonna go? Are we coming on next week from New York? Concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
Or do you really want to?
I mean, I don't know. We'll know. We'll see.
decide. Y'all, so it's a possibility we may or may not, we may just do a pop in 10 minutes, something like that. Because I look, I work and I want a real vacation and I don't want to have to think about anything. So we'll see.
We'll see. Okay, until we meet again, you guys, enjoy the rest of your evening, and we love you and we thank you for supporting us over the years. We really appreciate it. So tune in possibly next week. We will post for another episode of
Let's
Let's Talk About It. Good night,
Y'all be
you
good.
guys.
Have a good night.